Hello, my name is Mike Wallace, and you have the privilege of seeing me in my Saturday best as I sit in my son's comfortable gaming chair working on homework today. Anyhow, significance was something we talked about 2 weeks ago, and I came to the conclusion that significance would be any sort of person, idea, thought, practice, or even object that has withstood its test of time and has continued to influence future generations and has made a lasting impression. Um, this week, I've been looking at Buddha and his impression um, on society and his lasting impact on the developing nations and cultures over the centuries. Buddha, first of all, is not actually a person, it's actually a title, and that title is translated to being awakened. The person that is attributed to the idea and teaching of Buddhism is Sadritha Gautama. I believe I said it right. He was out of Nepal and initially started in the India region and worked its way eastwards to the Orient. And there it began to manifest and take on different sects, and the Asian culture began to adopt the teachings and then also imply some of its culture to Buddhism, which we see today. There's different sects and different versions of Buddhism and teachings. But the most important thing about Buddhism has not changed, and that's what has withstood the test of time and has continued to influence generations and cultures, and that is its exploration of inner peace. Buddhism is about finding what motivates you, learning to become selfless, looking for that state of nirvana, of inner peace and inner power. Today in the 21st century, specifically in the Western world, we've adopted this in a lot of our psychology practices in regards to self-soothing techniques, PTSD treatments, learning to de-escalate our emotions, being able to meditate and think of positive things, and also learn to apply what we've learned on the inside and make that an outwardly expression or action towards others. We see Buddhism today in our pop culture, in our artwork. We see it in the Chinese restaurants we visit. We see it in different places within town. I can speak specifically to a Buddhist temple that is in Visaya. So the practice is still fairly large, though it's not the largest religion in the world. It is number 4, so there are millions and millions of people who subscribe to Buddhism as a faith. But as the future goes, I don't see how Buddhism will leave or necessarily disappear. I think it will continue to be an influence in our modern mental health and self-soothing techniques as people continue to explore the same ideas and principles that the original teachers and monks of Buddhism did, and that being finding our inner peace and what makes us tick and why we behave the way we do, and having interpersonal reflection, and I refer to that as taking inventory. But Buddhism has definitely made an impact and has influenced not only our Western culture, but continues to be a prominent influence in the Eastern countries and regions of the Orient or the Asian nations.